special lake for us. And but there could have been a lot of stuff going wrong why they didn't. What I'm just thinking is, it might have been the swans or whatever, the big birds were out there, the lily pads, no, how much empty spots are out there, and it could have been, not taking care of the lake, like they used to, and
Could that have been a factor? Not as many, because I know back then men used to hunt bird a lot, like whether it was ducks or whatever bird it was, to eat,
I talked to my brother last night on the phone, and he said there's no ducks out there.
Yeah, I know he keeps a good eye on them out there.
He lives right up, he can see the lake from where he lives.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors as far as the birds go. I know they're talking about their flight path moving more westward, so they're kind of cramming through like the Red River area, Red River Valley, and then down through that way there. So I was kind of surprised too. They got one of the towns over there call themselves like the duck hunting capital of the world, or they're supposed to be like the center of the duck hunting world or something. So, and that just came about like within the last, I don't know, at least I've noticed anyway, in the last 20 years, maybe 30 years, but that lake was always famous for its duck hunting, and that's one of the things that was...
I know there's a recipe, I think they said, was it duck wild rice and like a bacon type of recipe dish out there? I've never tried, but I wanted to try it before.
Oh yeah, that's really good. I can remember, well, not only duck, but geese also.
Yeah.
I remember one Thanksgiving, that's what we had, We didn't have a turkey, but we had geese.
Still tastes good though, man.
But that was the best Thanksgiving meal I remember ever having was them geese. I think my dad put 2 of them in there. The only thing I remember about him, the way he prepared it, was he did put bacon on top of the bird, as it was in the oven. And I can't remember how they made the stuffing or whatever it was, but yeah, we're getting to that season now where you're getting me hungry.
Yeah, we used to have roast duck. My ma used to roast duck and then deer meat.
Oh,
She'd roast deer meat and pinin, Wawashkishi wias.
Oh yeah.
Shishi wias.
How do you say carrot? I don't remember if
Kada cook.
Kada cook? Oh, okay.
Then
Must be a lot of that and
a lot of rice they'd have.
daka cook. Cook.
Ka.
Daka?
Ka da.
Oh,
Ka da cook, like in ka.
okay.
Ka.
Oh,
On dig.
okay, yeah.
Crow.
Uh-huh.
Ka da.
I don't know why I don't know that. That's weird. Carrot and onion. How do you say onion?
Chicago mish.
Chicago mish.
See, that's where Chicago got the name,
Oh, okay.
because they said there was a stink town.
Uh-huh.
Like, then a shigog is what
Yeah.
a skunk is what they
Chicago mish.
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 Chicago mish.
Okay. There you go, people. I don't know why that never stuck in my mind. Chicago mish.
Chicago. Yeah, that's a lot of these American towns and cities. It seems like they have there's native words.
Yeah.
Anishinaabe, whether it's Anishinaabe or
Do you guys remember, what was it, Wayne's World, where he had Alice Cooper on there and he was explaining how Milwaukee got its name?
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
He was like, yeah, it's an old Algonquin word. It means, pulling knowledge and sharing it there. I was like, holy.
It's just truthful too. What he was saying.
Right, yeah.
It's an old Algonquin word.
Like ore. There must have been a lot of pelicans on ore.
Yeah.
How it got their name. How it got its name. Same way with Hibbing, Cattail Town. Paqueshki Wigamig. That's cattail tone, and that's what they call gibbing.
Mm.
What was Oregon? Pelican Lake? Hold on, I have that dictionary. I gotta go grab it.
All right.
It has that writing on it.
Yeah, so what the heck was I talking about? It was origins of towns? No, that wasn't it. See how my brain works. I how you say that? I forget easily.
What's
Niki King Don or something
Yeah.
like that.
Gawi Niki Canton.
Gawi Niki King Don.
Or is a shagawi. A shagawi. That's a pelican. Sagi igan. So, pelican.
So that's really what they called it, or was Pelican Lake?
Pelican Lake, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you could, that first word means pelican.
Mm-hmm.
Pelican Lake.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them out there, and then I did notice like a lot of them. I think they call them snow geese, or them
Yeah.
big white geese.
Mm-hmm.
Them things were honking right over the school here yesterday, and then right in the background there's Canadian geese flying the other way. So that was kind of encouraging, seeing a lot of that, those birds.
They'll probably go into where the rice is and that. They'll eat up the rice
Mm-hmm.
before anybody can get it.
Yeah.
They'll be out there, and, well, at least we'll be feeding the animals or
Yeah.
the birds,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess we got to get up there a little bit more and talk about these things. When we, I know I forget a lot about attending those meetings and stuff.
I asked if they'd let us know when the meeting was, and they never even called me. I asked somebody, can you let us, there's
Mhm.
3 of us elders that want to attend the meeting.
Yeah.
We never got a call, we just heard no rice. And,
Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe, I don't know, they should include the elders in on a lot of these decisions like
Yeah.
that.
they-
I mean, they don't have to restrict it or anything, like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, only residents can go out and harvest or whatever, you know what I mean? But at least, consult, I think
Yeah.
would be a good thing.
consult
Inclusive,
with-
or be
with some
inclusive.
elders, that,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? But no, Colleen.
Well, I can see it being very important, from a cultural standpoint, and I'm sure there's a spiritual significance to it also,
Especially if it's the wild rice
Yeah. Yep.
that grows on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I noticed is when I go out go for a drive with somebody, I never see any deer anymore.
Mm.
Like we went up to Tower, and at this time you see a lot of deer.
Oh yeah.
There's one time we counted 30 deer,
Mm.
and I went up there with Carlene and Dawn this week, and not one deer did we see.
Oh. Yeah, that is true. I mean, we usually have quite a bit of deer through that area, especially from Cook to Tower. Yeah, you can count over 40 deer for sure.
Yeah.
Usually around this time,
Yeah.
where the evening starts sooner. I'm really noticing that. I can't believe how fast the sun is going down nowadays. I remember I've been taking Timshki photographs, lazy photographs. Maznegen, okay. And been trying to catch it, but then every time I look over my shoulder, it's already gone. So, I usually like taking sunset photographs right on a lake, and then nowadays if I see it almost getting down to the top, I just go ahead and take a picture of it from wherever I'm standing, just to remind myself.
I was talking with Squeak, my brother, we talked quite a bit about things, and we got to talking about deer, Wawashkeshi, and that's what he said. You know what I think? He said, there's a lot of wild dogs out there.
Mm.
He said, and they're probably getting them, they're probably killing them, he said too.
Uh-huh.
he said, I heard there's just so much dogs, wild dogs out there.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything along those lines, but it's possible, you know. I remember, and them dogs, they can breed quite fast, you know. So there are probably more dogs than we think that are out there.
Yeah.
Or
Like-
at least just harassing them anyway, you know, and keeping them out of the area, maybe.
Like on that movie Prey, when that dog survived in the end,
Oh, yeah.
he said, not even the predator could kill that res dog.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that meme was going around, and I was like, jeez.
Well, res dogs are pretty tough, you know.
Yeah.
I know they're,
Yeah.
the quick ones anyway, the ones that probably can outrun the bullets, you know. So I know they've been, you know, going after them dogs, at least the loose ones anyway, you know what I mean? Because, I don't know, I suppose you could kind of confuse, you know, a wild dog for a domesticated one, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I suppose
for
they
sure.
go back and forth between each other, maybe.
I went to the powwow Saturday, and there was this dog running around in a powwow ground,
Mm-hmm.
and this little girl was chasing that dog, and I stopped her. That was one of my little students that I teach in elementary, and I called her over there. I said, you know what? I said, there's not supposed to be any dogs at a powwow, around the powwow ground.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm trying to catch him and take him home.
Oh.
She said, so she must have caught him and took him home.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, she's in the 6th grade. I think she'll be 6th grade. And she must be like that time to ask questions. She said, look, miss, why can't there be dogs on the powwow, in the powwow?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know why? I said, you're not supposed to let dogs in the powwow. I said, them dogs are bagichigan
Mm.
to the powwow. I said, but in a bad way, I told her.
Mm.
They're bagichigan in a bad way.
Mm.
I said, they're being there as a gift
Mm-hmm.
for young kids. I said, so if there's a lot of kids here at the when that dog runs around, he's looking for one kid to take with him
Mm.
to give to the spirit world. That's what I was told. I said, so that's why you shouldn't have a dog here
Mm-hmm.
on the powwow ground. I
He's
said,
again.
"Mhm."
Really? You never told me that. I didn't know that.
I was just thinking about that. See, I never told.
Things come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about why, you know, they've all, even around, you know, you're not supposed to have dogs like around ceremonies.
Right, yeah.
After hunting too, you remember you used to tell us that, yeah, for some reason you're not supposed to let those dogs get into those deer bones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's reasons for it, you know.
Yeah, and then, like, when they kill a deer, they used to tell us they go bury the deer legs,
Mm.
the foot, the
Mhm.
feet. That's what them old men used to do. They bury the hoofs
Mm-hmm.
because they said the deer were proud of their hoofs or their legs, or I suppose how they could run.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm there's stuff that is coming back to me that I was told about the dog.
Mm.
So I told that little girl why. She asked me, how come we can't live, our dogs come on the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good teaching. I think that's one of the things that I get asked about, you know, and I don't think I've ever been told any particular teaching that goes along with it, but that one sounds like it makes sense, you know. So
And then they used to say, spell dog
mm.
backwards.
Yep.
What does dog spell backwards?
Well, it'd be God.
Yeah. And they said that's what did they say? Yeah, we all have the same gods, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same God, only different.
Yeah. Well, I know, like in other, of course, other cultures, you know, they have their beliefs, and that's what I always like the medicine men. I know that was one of the things that, as far as the dogs go, the one thing that they always talked about was the healing power that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so there's you know, like when an animal or a dog is wounded, you know, he's able to heal himself. You know, he what do you call it? He starves himself. You know, to where his body starts tearing itself down and repairing, and then he waits until it just, you know what I mean, it gets down to wherever that injury is or that ailment is, and then it starts eating away at that disease or whatever it is that's affecting him, and then after that, then he heals. He's got that power to bring himself back.
And they have the power to heal somebody. They used to tell us if you're ailing somewhere, like on one of your bones, or have a dog lick you there.
Mm-hmm.
Have a dog lick.
Yeah.
I remember.
I can tell you a story about my buddy Tony.
Mhm.
He's got his dogs have taken care of him. You know.
And that's the same way when they do Indian burials. What's in one of them sentences when they're talking the Anishinaabe language, they say, when on your journey, you cross a river,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be dogs there
Mm.
eating,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll help you across the river, you know.
Mhm.
But that's why they say, be nice to dogs, you know,
Mhm.
don't abuse dogs,
Right.
because they're going to help you.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
know I had a sprained ankle, and Carlene's dog would lick my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to their house when they lived next door across the road, and I could walk, but my ankle was still sore and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd walk up the porch, and he'd be on a porch, and he'd come right up and he'd start licking my ankle, the
Mhm.
one that was bothering me.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that's what they say if you're ailing. Lester used to have that dog lick the left side of his back where he had lung surgery.
Mm-hmm.
He'd go sit with our dog Spot, and
Mhm.
he wouldn't have a shirt. He'd take his
Mhm.
shirt off.
Yeah.
And that dog just knew he'd be licking on his
Right.
back.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went back there, they said he didn't have no more cancer,
Yep. Yep.
but he ended up dying. You know,
Mhm.
very heart problems.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't really the cancer, and
No, they
Yeah.
took it all.
okay. Yeah, I know. You know, I've seen it many times. You know, in particular, what you're talking about as far as dogs go. So I think there's many teachings that are out there, more than what we're talking about. But like you said, you got some that are coming back, and that's awesome. That you're remembering those
Yeah.
things. You know.
Our grandma used to own 24 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma Rose.
Yeah.
All over. And your grandpa Louis used to make harnesses for them dogs. He'd pull them in, and he'd make an old sled out of wood,
Mm-hmm.
and them kids, Gillig and all of them, your dad and Justin and them would harness up them dogs. Kenny, they'd like a sled.
The sled dog.
Yeah, there'd be 6 of them dogs pulling.
Mm-hmm.
In the winter, they'd pulling them
Oh yeah.
on that sleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering why my grandma was so interested in dogs, and it got to be my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And living in Tower, she'd take any old stray dog, and she had 6 dogs one time. She had Alex make a kennel.
Mm-hmm.
they'd go to her house and she'd feed them, and then they would stay.
Mm-hmm.
On yeah, there's a Nanabashu story about it, about the animals. I want to tell as
soon as we get some.
Yeah.
I had somebody ask me about that too. Why we're only supposed to tell stories in the winter?
Well, I think there's so much going on in the summertime, you know, and I think it's just a great time to settle down and share knowledge. You know,
that's what my grandma did, and everybody else at night. And long time ago, you know, nobody played. They had to be in late, early. Especially in the winter, there's nothing to do but just tell stories, you know. And
you remember that guy from that teacher that called the station here? He was looking for somebody that could tell stories, or not stories, but just talk about culture, language. And he said, "I know you're not supposed to tell stories in the wintertime." And I never knew this. He said because Nanabuju will show up. He said, if he catches you telling stories. I don't know where he heard that from, but I never met this guy. He called the station one day, and I'm like, I've never heard that before. But I didn't tell him that. I'm like, well, that sounds about kind of right too, because he was a trickster, right? And well, I'm not going to go into storytelling, but it's what he said. He said because you're not supposed to tell him in the summertime because Nanabuju will show up or something.
Well, there's certain things, you know. There's a game that Navajos play, you know, with string.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that?
Yeah. They
So-
played with string with them on both hands.
Yep.
And then another person.
And then another
goes-
person grabs it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember when you're not supposed to play with that, but it relates to the spider. A story about the spider.
Wow.
But I didn't know. I know we get balled out if we were playing with string at the wrong time.
we used to play that game with string.
Oh, okay.
Clara and Sarah and one of us kids, or even the boys would be playing Kenny and all of them. We'd be sitting and we'd make that string, and it did look like a spider web.
Yep.
It looked like a spider web, all like a net, a fishing net. How when you you go setting net.
I wonder what the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I'm gonna say. Is just it looked like a fishing net.
Right.
Sabi.
A sabi kine.
Oh, that's the word for he or she nets, right? A sabi. Is it a sabi kune? A sabi. He or she nets.
That's just a net, yeah.
Net.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we had somebody ask us.
Sabi.
Yeah. Net.
A sabi neke? No?
Sabi.
Where you make a net.
Yeah. Yeah, where you can make nets.
Netting fish.
I don't know. You guys want to take a break here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll play a song. And, well, wait a minute. Let me get you updated on the weather. That's what we'll do. So you guys can go ahead and take a break. Get your coffees and all that good stuff. And I will run through some weather with you all. Currently in beautiful Mid Lake, Minnesota, we are sitting at 62 degrees, And I'm trying to remember this word. Sagate Gijig. Zagate Gijig. Sunny out there. And let me see here.
Okay.
As far as our current conditions, our dew point is at 52 degrees. Our humidity is at 72. Our pressure is at 29.92. And your winds are northeast at 5 miles per hour. And of course, your visibility is forever 10 miles. And let's see, your average high for today is usually around 67. Your average low is around 44. Currently, for the forecast, brought to you by weatherology.com, Tuesday, noon. Skies becoming partly cloudy with daytime highs approaching 68. So we'll be right above average just a degree, yeah. And your winds are going to be northwest, or from the northwest, 8 to 15 miles per hour, so a little bit of a breeze out there. And let's see, Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies with lows around 44, winds turning northeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, your Wednesday, highs around 68 under partly cloudy skies, easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Yeah. So that's your latest update on the weather. I'm also going to tell you about today's Native America Calling Show, and that's coming up at noon, or right about noon 05. Right at noon, they come in with National Native News, and that's brought to you with your host, Antonia Gonzalez. And brings you a little 5-minute update about the current national Native news, the latest happening in Indian country. And then they get into their program. It's called, like I said, Native America Calling. It's a live call-in show, so you can participate if you want. And if you want, you can call, excuse me, 1-800-99-NATIVE. Yeah, just spell it right out on your keypad. And today's show, Tuesday, November, holy, I already ahead of myself. Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. The topic is alternatives to conventional loans. Let's see here. Native borrowers have a number of choices beyond the bank loan to finance big items like homes and starting businesses. Today on Native America Calling, Sean Spruce looks at who's eligible for various alternative financing options and whether they're appropriate for your next major endeavor with Jamie Glochet, who is Navajo and White Mountain Apache and Kiowa, and co-founder of Native Women Lead. Wait a minute here. Native Women Lead. I think I got that right. Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. See how I am? I read these wrong. Native Women Lead. There you go. That's the way it's supposed to be said. And also joining Sean on today's program is Jody Fisher, who is Wyandotte, is a senior projects manager for First Nations Community Financial, and Russell Siegel, executive director of the Sequoia Fund. Sounds interesting. Yeah, you might want to listen in on that if you're in the market for some big ticket items like a home, business, or anything like that. So check it out today on today's Native America Calling. Yeah. And let's see here. What else have I got for ya? I'll hold off on the jobs until tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, make sure you tune in to Res Rockin' Radio. Same time, same channel, or same res time, same res channel. There you go. Tomorrow at 10 to noon. So, and that's just an eclectic mix of music featuring Native American contemporary musicians and their tunage. Yeah. So check it out tomorrow, 10 to noon. And don't forget about what was that guy? D-Lang. D-Lang likes to do his morning show, Finally Awake, right at the 9 o'clock hour. And yeah, so we got things back getting in order here. I'm going to share one quick little song, and then we will be right back.
Kid song.
Oh yeah, okay.
On the ding-a-ling. I am on radio, not yet. No.
You're on there. You can be.
Hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Well, no, sometimes something.
Go ahead.
Oh, when I first heard old song calling Deer and Dave, what did they call him?
D-Lang.
D-Lane, I said,
and his grandmother Karen. Karen's been a lifelong teacher at the Head Start for over 30 years, gotta be, right? 40?
41. Wednesday.
Just about 41 years, yeah. So she's been teaching in
1973 I started, when Mark was just starting.
Oh, okay. 1973, she's been in the education business, teaching all of our young kids here. I'm sure everybody's been through Head. Moved up here, but yeah, my sisters, I know they were part of the Head Start.
Yeah.
Yep. So been in the business a long time, and of course she's lived here all of her life. Married, had kids, all of the Anishinaabe Bawajigun, you know, the Anishinaabe dream.
Yep.
And
Logical.
so she's up here, you know, talking about wild ricing and how important that is to our community, and you know, just as Native people, and making sure that we recognize our elders and input from our community members, you know, when we're making decisions. And just want to stress that again and make that part of our broadcast here, because that's important. You know, we can't forget our teachings, and who knows better than somebody that taught all of her life, and you know, tries to you know, look out for the better of the community. So miigwech, Karen, for, you know, your knowledge, and for being here and sharing your words and wisdom. You know, because we all need that. I mean, I know we're trying to be as best we can as being modern, you know, educated individuals here, but I think we can't lose the fact that we're all connected, and we're connected in more ways than one. You know, spiritually is an important factor, spirituality, and of course our language, which ties all of our lives together, our families together, our, you know, just everything about being here and why we're here. So I'm gonna close my how do you say lips again?
Doing.
My doon here, or nin doon.
Shadoon.
Shadoon. You heard? Chadoon, no. Yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys cover some material here, whatever you guys want to go at, and I'm gonna go freshen up my coffee.
Yeah. I stopped in this morning, Sheba Nagi away. Being Digoma, KBFT, to the little Head Start room. I went, they were playing, going on a bear hunt, and it just made me want to stay there too. My little granddaughter started this morning, Gikinomage, Sheba, and they were doing that. We used to do the bear hunt in our language when I was there. Nigi Maja, we'd say Makwa, what do you say?
You said?
Gilse, Makwa Gilse, meant going on a bear hunt. No, I just knew how they said it a little different. We used to say we're going on a bear hunt, gonna get a big one. I'm not afraid, you know, Gawini Gizegizisi. That's I'm not afraid. Gawini Gizegizisi. We're going on a bear hunt. I am, you know, then they'd say the different stuff. Well, I watched them until my little granddaughter noticed me. And she said, "No comes," she said. Oh, I said, "Isn't done." Listen, I said, they were just getting done. They thought I was coming to teach because the teacher got a chair for me to sit down. No, I'm just stopping in. I said, Koe Niki Wambama and the Nushis. I said, I'm just going to see my granddaughter. grandchild. Then I said, I'll be back. I said, if you want me to come back, you can make like 20 minutes for me to come and do a little teaching with these little kids. I can. They have short attention spans, I said, but maybe 20 minutes, I said, and then I'll teach them. I'll come and teach them. Let me know when you want me to come down. I called Bejan too, and I said, I don't have nothing to do during the days. I said, let me know. You want me to come to elementary school? Anishinaabe. I said, I'll come there, but nobody, he hasn't been Tom. He hasn't asked me yet. And I'm gonna go ask. He's gonna have to talk to me. But anyway, we had a bunch of stuff about animals today. Like I said, I haven't really told this story to the kids in the winter time. It's about, I can tell what it's about, that's it, but I can't tell the whole story. It's about how Nanabashu met with all the animals and told them their jobs, what their jobs are going to be when they're out, you know. And but I'll have to wait till Zugapun snowing, and I can tell, I can say what we were just talking about you know, about spirits. I have teachers too. Well, I have only one teacher now. I only have one teacher now that's living. Gene was even my teacher. I'd ask, if I get stuck on something, I'd ask him. I call Elma. I call Jenny Wooden Frog. I call Jones Thompson. I called a lot. Gamat, I called her. I used to ask Jessie. So I had a lot of teachers. But this one, he's sick, but he tells me stuff, you know. I ask him, he'll tell me.
Mizanobi done?
Howie and Billy.
Oh, Billy.
And then I can't, he lives far away, so I can't give him tobacco, so I give him a gift through the mail. I either send him some wild rice, and I'll send him a package of tobacco, and I'll send him some maybe a little bit Junia, or just, you know, I'll just send him a Bagicha gun in a package. And I'll ask him a question, you know, like, remember this word? Do you remember how to say this word? And I said, I knew how to say it, but and he even asks me sometime, like, he asked me how to say that word send, you know, send. And he asked me how to say what goes around comes around, you know. Shabbat, I said. And then the other one was Jinjamo'o, that send it, Jinjamo'o. But yeah, there's, then I'm writing stuff that, like I said, I was taught by my Aunt Ruth Ann she taught me this prayer at Keepers of the Lake. Gita Bendan Zagi Igan. That's how you say Keepers of the Lake. Gita Bendan Zagi Igan. That means Keepers of the Lake. And when you do that prayer, in English, what I say, I'm giving you tobacco. Nigaminin sama. I'm giving you. Nigaminin sama. You know, magsha wisiniwin, maybe food. You can give sama or tobacco. You can give wisiniwin. So that's what you say. Niki mi nigu sama mi magsha wisiniwin, maybe food. So you could say either one. That's what you're going to give the spirits. And Daga Bisandawayuk. Please listen. Daga Bisandawayuk. Or you can say Daga Bisanda. Please listen. And Botananawad Ama. There's a lot. Botananawad Ama Anishinaabe Ama Shkunigan. There's a lot of Indians on the reservation. Shkunigan.
Shkunigan.
Anishinaabe Ama Shkunigan.
Then when they said, what's the difference between Shkunigan and Shkuniganing?
Shkuniganing would be...
You're at the reserve.
Yeah.
At the reserve,
Yeah.
right? But then Shkunigan...
It's just the
Okay.
reservation. Yeah.
Okay.
And before, and then there's another one you could say, Jibwa nagigitu, before I talk. Jibwa nagigituin, or nagigituan, before I talk. Owe kwe gaminik sama. That lady gave me tobacco. Tobacco to do this. And you can just start out with just 2 little sentences, like you don't have to, if like a person that knows the language, they can do all for like 4 directions, like when you're praying, you can say manidug, mbeyuk, nigi minin sama, minawawi siniwin, kita bizanda away as you kiduan. Then you could ask ask them what you're praying for. Look what's going on here. You could say, Kinago ogi akusiyogoma. Everybody's getting sick here. Kinago akusiyogoma. Gida bizandawayuk and gigi what did I say? Gitawi dukoy goma away. Please help here. Gita away niniog minawa kwe gogi aboachike. As you sit your game. Let somebody dream, men or ladies, what to do, what we can do. Miigwech manidug, miigwech. Thank you, spirits. You always thank them. And
I think that would help if we came up with one of these flyers that we've been making.
Yeah.
Just to outline a prayer.
Yeah.
Or for different situations. I think it would really help people.
mm-hmm.
Because when I'm doing offerings and stuff like that too, I do my best, and but it's really choppy,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what I'm doing.
And you have it in your mind and your heart too.
Yep. It's just in your and that's all, what you can do. But the little words that pull everything together, like I'm offering this, this is what my tobacco, my food, and I'm doing it for this purpose or something like that. Maybe we could come up with a word list that kind of encompasses a lot of that,
Yeah, that's
That's what I would like to do. I would like to have like maybe 4 pages of prayers,
yeah.
like different to healing,
Yeah.
maybe naming prayers.
Mm-hmm.
What you say when you're
Yeah.
when you're because it's different
Mm-hmm.
when you
Well, like when you're harvesting,
Yeah.
you're going out and
Thinking.
picking whatever.
meet with you manomini.
Mm-hmm.
Thankful for the rice,
Yep.
and thankful for the meat, the ducks,
Mm-hmm.
the animals,
Oh, yeah.
Miskopanes. Ich bin gegen Gemishen mit der Schweige just to get. If you give me something, that's what I'll do. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
outline with. I would, yeah. Let's do it.
Then there's long prayers, like Perry. I taught Perry how to do this long. Well, me and Lester both.
Mm-hmm.
To go through all the 4 directions.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wabanong, Shawanong,
Mhm.
Nigabi, Anong, Giwe, Denong.
Yep.
You talk to each
Mm-hmm.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of people out there that would really appreciate that, just some direction on how to put it all together. I know we know, the directions. I know we know the, some of the words as far as like we do go in and,
Listen, done, listen.
yep,
Yeah.
listen and all that.
Another thing is they have a spirit sitting on at each direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Giwe Denung spirit, that's a winter spirit sitting on,
Yep.
in morning dawn spirit,
Yep.
on the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and the south spirit,
Yeah.
and then summer spirit. They have like a man. I think they have ladies and men
Mm-hmm.
spirit sitting at each direction watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wabanong, the dawn.
Yeah.
When the dawn morning comes, and that's this morning spirit.
Mm-hmm. And I want to encourage all the listeners out there, don't be afraid to approach, Karen or Perry or whoever. I mean, we'll find those resources if you want to ask a question, even on Facebook or whatever. They should have a little icon, where that
Mm-hmm.
that little hand is putting something in his hand.
Yeah.
It should be like tobacco,
Oh, that'd be
a
awesome.
tobacco icon or something. But yeah, where you could make that offering to elder or somebody that has that knowledge or has resources where they can find it. I think that's a good way to approach it. If you have a question about, well, how do I do this? And we can dig in our files and say, hey, it's right up on our page, or go check this out, or it's right in our library, or it's right in our, come and check it out, and you can, download it or
Yeah.
or use it or however.
Saturday, somebody come up to me and they asked me if I could do a talk on grief. They said they were going to ask some person off another reservation and then me, but I didn't go back there, so I didn't.
Mhm.
But something about grieving. And that's all I told him was, I said, people don't always grieve the same way. I
Right.
said everybody grieves different. I said,
Mhm.
but I grieved different when I lost my husband. I said, and I see how other people grieved. I said, but I try to go to Virginia to go to go and just see how this grieving was.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a bunch of Wemtigujikweog in there sitting. I was the only Anishinaabe,
Mm-hmm.
and they have different. I was listening to them. They have different ways of grieving. They all had a chance to talk,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a chance to talk. But I really felt out of place there
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't with my own people and talking the same language.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking,
Yeah.
about different things.
Yeah.
And they asked me how I grieved, and I told them, how,
Mm-hmm.
the Indian
Yeah.
Indian ladies or men grieve. I said, but we didn't see eye to eye, or
Mhm.
we didn't see. And like I said, there's 4 races, and everybody grieves different, and
Mm-hmm.
like there's 4 roads, where we go,
Yeah.
and everybody does different,
Yeah.
We're not all the same.
I remember when I was going to school, I think back in the early 90s, there was somebody from Canada that had a real good presentation on grief, and then going through the different, the way they described it was kind of the way like an academic would, like somebody professional in the mental health industry, where they have these stages, denial and all that, those other types of steps that they go through. But there was this woman that had a great presentation, of getting through this whole process from a native perspective, and that would be awesome if Perry, if maybe we could find somebody that, has that kind of knowledge and bring them to our community and, help people understand, how to use traditional approaches, to losing family or just getting through tough processes in their life, because there's, I don't know what.
We should try get Alan Hardy or Nabeck.
Mhm.
That was that one I told you about. When I seen him up there, he was doing the traditional rites for our cousin. I think it was it Lois,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we should. Those two, they're
Mhm.
fluent speakers. They have a lot of knowledge. I think one of them even came to you and asked, well, because he was uncertain if he should do it this way versus because he's from
Yeah.
a different tribe or reservation,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Yeah.
consulted with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He asked how. He said, I know. He said, I'm from a different reservation. He said, and we do things a little different, but the talk is always almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing where they send you down. You have to go 4 levels and all this.
Yeah.
And I told him what we did here, and some of the stuff we did, I told him he didn't know. He
Mm.
said, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And but now he was writing everything down I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like right now my daughter's really grieving. That's all
Mhm.
she does is cry. And I talked to her. I gave her a hug. I tried to talk to her. I was rubbing her back, and I was telling her to go put tobacco down in at the lake. I said, so her and Anthony took a walk last night, and I gave Anthony tobacco to give her some, and I told her, talk about it. I said, talk. That's
Mhm.
all talk about him. I said, what you did, and because she's been with him almost 9 years, and that's a long
Mhm.
time. And but she was telling me, she said she read something, her horoscope, and she said, you know what, she's telling me, that horoscope told me that your life is going to change drastically. So I said, well, that's what it must have meant. I said that this was going to happen to you. You're going to lose your Ouija wagon. That's like a made Ouija wagon that you're going with. But you know, and I was telling her, you know, I said when I had 7 years to grieve. I said, along with your dad. I said I grieved with him, and it wasn't that hard for me. Yet it was hard for me because after being with him for like 51 years.
Right.
And I said, but she said, you act like you didn't even grieve. I said, I did. Long time ago, Indians were, I remember my grandpa died, Grandpa George. And my mom we had outhouses then. We had, you know, and she was going to the outhouse, and I knew there was something wrong, 'cause I was just a kid. I knew there was something wrong the way she was acting, and she went in the toilet and she closed the door, and I was outside waiting for her. I followed her. She probably didn't know I was out there, but I could hear her crying in the outhouse. She was not showing grief. They were hiding it. She was hiding it. And when she come out, I asked her, Mom, why are you crying? I didn't know, you know, because, you know, they wouldn't allow us to go to funerals, you know. And Anine, she gave Moe, and I told her, how come you cry, Moe? And then I can't remember what she tried to explain to me. Oh, she said, she just told me that her dad, she never called Grandpa George Dad. All his kids called him Pa. Pa, they called him. And she told me, she said, my Pa is gone, and your Nimisho is gone. We'll never see him again, she said, until she explained to me. But yeah, I know how bad. I see how they say it's worse to lose a kid and then your mate. But yeah, we all have different ways. And, you know,
Well, I think some people, you know what I mean, they're more open to it, and like you were talking about, openly expressing, you know, your feelings, or even just memories. And I think that's an important part of that process, is just, you know, telling it, hearing your voice, your own self, kind of work through, you know, every meaningful moment, you know, and just it kind of helps you solidify everything in your mind, you know, maybe even to help you organize stuff, because you know, I know it can be very overwhelming, you know, and but I appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts on that, and I think that's one of the things that I think is important, especially you know, for anybody that's dealing with loss, you know, and it doesn't just have to be a person. It can be a, you know, an animal. It can be a, you know, a pet, or whatever it might be, because I know those things are really, you know, powerful influences in our lives. So, and as that goes, you know, most things have a spirit, you know, everything has a spirit. And so even at that, you know, when you see things changing, you know that they're under stress, or they're going through changes, you know, and change is not easy for a lot of people, you know, and I'm sure it's true for, you know, like we talk about our mother, Aki, you know, our Mother Earth, and in that same sense, you know, we can be grieving, you know, for things that are happening in our world today. And that's one of the things that I think as Indian people, you know, we're really sensitive to a lot of those things, you know, and it's just something that our hearts are open to that, and we're connected to, you know, actually everything. I don't want to say most everything, but yeah. And that's the sense that we have, and so it's not like we've taken on the whole world as a burden or anything like that. It's just, you know, paying our respect and making sure that we remember and that we recognize, you know, the things that are influenced, you know, as part of our life and sustain us and or have helped us through our tough times too, you know.
You know, long Meosha, I suppose, in our grandma's time, the lady, when their husband died, it was just when their husband died, they'd cut their hair. They had long hair, they'd cut it off just short. But I never asked, you know, but that's what, then they quit, you know, just like they quit picking your own mate, you know, and how things were long years ago, how, you know, changes, you know.
Yep. Well, just like you were talking earlier about, you know, if you have I don't know how they handled if a woman's husband, well, I suppose if she had passed, she would be taken care of by, you know, her brother's family, or her husband's brother's family. Yeah, her brother-in-law or whoever that they would take on some of those responsibilities.
Their belongings too. What would they do with their belongings? Like their clothes, their spiritual items?
Oh, you mean for the person that passed away, what they do with their clothes?
Yeah, just anything, their belongings, if they had a pipe or a feather.
Them, they go hang out in the woods. They're sacred items, like if they have Medewi stuff, like a drum, a feather, or anything that, like I have my Medewi stuff in that, I get out like my pipe and I have a weasel weon.
Weasel weon.
Weon is hide.
Weasel hide.
Like you could say, Wawashkeshi weon, a mik weon, you know, any kind of hide is a weon. But I have that, and see, when I gi maja, when I gi when I go home, they'll put my stuff away. But I have directions on what I want my kids to do for me when I leave, when it's my time. I'm giving my drum to my daughter, my oldest daughter. And my red bag that I have my weon in there, my pipe. I was given a pipe. That's Lester's mother's pipe. It's a lady pipe. And I have some sticks in there, cedar sticks. And I have some other stuff. I have a silver cloth in there. But what they're gonna do is I want them to go hang them out in the woods on a tree and leave them there. And I told them I want to be buried in blue dress, gudas, uzawashko gudas, blue dress. And I told them who I want to come and do my funeral. I'll have a Medea funeral, because I went to the Medea Lodge where they paint your face. You know, they paint it with red paint. And so I left directions for them what to do. And I left it to your dad and Carly and the two oldest ones. So they're, you know, and I left them some other like a letter. What I, but everything is left for them for what I want done. Just like Lester left a leather. Leather.
Leather.
Daybreak, Donis gave him a bear blanket, and he said, I want that buried with me, he said. And he wanted his feather buried, named Meegwin. That was all. He said, take the rest of my stuff out in the woods. And he said, bury my clothes. So Pete and Brent went down and somewhere and they buried his clothes. So that's, I just said give my clothes away. I have a lot of nice clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But I said if I'm 100 years old, don't give them away. No. But no, you can't tell. Like I said, you can't tell when you're gonna march on, or you're gonna go, or you're gonna just but we're gonna get too old, and can't do nothing. I'm gonna get too old. I'm not gonna probably even be able to talk. No. That's why I'm trying so hard to do what I can today while I can still do it,
Right.
At
And we
least,
appreciate it.
a couple of years. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll be 78 and pretty close to it. I know my mom was born in 1926, and I was just thinking when I heard the news about that old
Oh, the Queen?
that old queen.
He's good.
And I was just thinking, hey, that's the same. My mom was born 1926, so she would have been 96.
Mm-hmm.
Those Marvel movies, those superhero movies they got out on, was it She-Hulk I was watching? There's an actor on there that's 104 years old. I calculated his age. That's like, he's older than Grandma Jessie, and Grandma Jessie Annie was born in 1926. Jessie was 25, right?
No, she was born, one of them was born 1912.
1912?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think Grandpa was born 1917, one of them.
Wow.
Grandpa Bagel.
Bagel? Oh,
Bagel Miggy tongue.
I have to write that down. Bagel. You said then bagel means
They just called him Bagel for short.
bagel.
But his real Indian name was Bagel Miggy tongue.
Bagel McBeaton. Wow. That's
Bagel me.
And that was which one of his grandparents?
Ray Drift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how they're related around here, like Ray Drift was from Sugarbush. His mother was Edith Goodsky, and that was Wiz and Jean's sister.
Oh, okay.
And that's how Lester and them were closely related to the Goodskies,
Is that Gamat?
Yeah, that was Gamat's, that was the dad's.
Oh, okay.
Was that Jean and Wiz's older sister? Edith Goodsky?
Jean, and that was their auntie.
Their auntie. Oh, their auntie.
Yeah, their brothers, Henry and Harold. Dajan's dad and Henry's was Wiz and Jean's.
So, Jean was first cousins with my great-grandfather Ray Drift? No, not great.
No, his that must have been his uncles, Wiz's dad and Jean's dad and Dajan's dad. Them were, how would that go?
Yeah, how would that... Okay, so Ray's mom was Edith Goodsky.
And she was brothers with Dajan's dad and Wiz and Jean's
Oh,
dad.
okay.
So that would make their uncle would have been Ray Drift. Whizzes and jeans and no.
Yeah, wait. I'm thinking too, because I'm like, but I didn't know we were that closely related to Gene and
Yeah, they're
that's pretty close.
Mhm.
Because Ray Drift was my dad's grandpa, right?
Yeah.
And Grandpa Lester's dad. Yeah, their mom was Edith. 'Cause, yeah, so they'd be really closely related then,
Mhm.
somehow, some way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew we were related to
And
Good Skies, but
We remember when there was a gas station by across from that car place in Guillen, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
Well, me and Lester drove up in a car, and there was a guy. He drove up in a car, a empty gushy, white man, and we got out, and he said, "Hi, Gene," he told Lester. And Lester looked at that white guy and he said, "Hey, mister," he said, "I don't go insulting you." And he said, "I don't go around insulting you." He said, "I'm not Gene." He said, because him and Gene used to just tease each other. They always picked the same clothes to wear. Then Lester would tell him, "Oh, same shirts. I think I'll go home and burn my shirt."
That must be like me and my buddy Tony. We were laughing. We were in the same gray colored shirt today.
Twins.
Twins, yeah.
Nijode.
Nijode?
That's how you say twins.
Two hearts?
Yeah,
What?
Nijode. Yeah, that's funny. That's how relatives are. That's why I said you gotta know who your relatives are, and like all of Mugs's kids know, yeah, that we're related, and
Mhm.
Kenny's kids and Clara's kids, and
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things. Remember, I think the last big family get-together was out at Lake Vermilion at one time. We were all down there. Remember, I still got pictures of Mark and Son and Uncle Albert, Grandpa Albert, and Kenny. Trying to remember the other pictures that I have. Oh, your mom, Annie. Got her in there. Alec. Yeah, that was a real good day, and that crazy. We never even did that again.
And everybody had fun. There was no
Yeah. Even Herbert was there. Yeah.
Uncle Bill.
Yeah, Sonny. Days. That was a real good day. Everybody was trying to. And then Muggs brought over her boat, and all of my uncles, they tried to water ski. That was fun.
Oh,
watching
man.
them guys, and none of them could get up. The funniest one was my Uncle Lou. When he was trying to get up and he wouldn't let go, but he kept trying and trying, and he must have dragged him at least about maybe almost a quarter mile. But he kept trying to stay. He kept trying to get up above the water. He kept his skis pointed straight up, and he was trying to pull himself up, but he couldn't. But he was making a bubble, a perfect bubble right around his skis and back over his head. So he was sitting inside that bubble while he was getting dragged along, and they're thinking he was going to let go, but he didn't. He wouldn't let go.
They did a lot more funner stuff back then. Like I remember they used to have those canoe races around the island. All that my dad's generation, it was like Squidge, my dad, all them. Who is it? Robbie, Jerry Goggle, Teresa. She's Knife Chief now. Yeah, and then Tower, they used to do all that types of stuff. They don't do that stuff no more. As a kid, I remember watching them joust too.
Oh, okay.
They don't allow that anymore.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's hard to get away with anything nowadays.
Yeah, you can't do those things anymore.
Yeah, it's all gone.
Just glad I got to witness a lot, because my dad lost his glasses one time. I think he got hit pretty hard. His old glasses went in the lake, and he couldn't find them. There's a lot of stuff in that area, because I know when they were having those jousting tournaments, people were losing like their watches, their rings, their shiny objects. It seemed like those
I think the last controversial thing I seen anybody do around here was a grease pig contest.
grease pig.
Yeah, they had like a little tiny swine, a little pig guy.
Oh,
He wasn't like a baby. He was probably about, I don't know, maybe about a foot and a half. He was pretty big, and but fast. And they greased him up, put a bunch of oil on him, and then they put him inside this little fenced-in area, and then people had to go out there and catch him. Yeah, that was the only, you know what I mean, politically correct kind of last thing I saw
Oh, okay.
people doing around here. You know, I mean,
That reminds me of Rocky, that Rocky movie when his trainer had him go chase that old chicken. He had to run and chase that chicken. I was like,
oh yeah, okay, yeah,
but they did. When did they do this?
that was like, oh, the pig thing.
Yeah, the big. I think I wasn't here.
I think that was just after college. I came back. What the heck was it now? 1990.
63.
Yeah, 1994. I think it was.
George said, "Why did you have to ask me when it was?"
Yeah. But I remember I brought my video camera, so I had like a little 8mm camera that I brought up. I still have it on film somewhere.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, one of these days I'll release them. I just haven't gone through all those things and separated everything, you know.
All that footage you have from the man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But we'll get to it one of these days. I know I got some, like I said, people kind of be chuckling about people running around trying to catch that,
Oh,
that little pig.
Little
Yeah.
pig.
Hey, you know what? We have a lot of.
What?
I left them home again. We have a lot of gifts to give away.
Oh yeah. We have.
Maybe what Anishinaabe te boy connect.
11:35.
Okay, what about at 11:45?
Okay.
If anybody is listening, could you call in and say, just introduce yourself, and you'll get a $25 coupon to Patton's.
There you go. Right on.
Just introduce yourself. Remember, that's one thing that we need to.
Yeah,
No.
let's as a community, let's practice that. You know, if we see each other, you know, Anin Minugijeb, you know,
Oh, I just learned that.
or just you know, Buju,
Yeah.
Mashkubanes Indigenous cause, you know.
Gida mino duda dim.
Mhm.
What is that, Graham?
What?
Gida mino duda dim. Treat each other good.
Oh yeah.
That's a different dialect, though.
Okay.
I'm on this Ojibwe language table app on Facebook, and I can't remember who invited me, but that's
Giduda.
this guy named Ginu Gijik. That's what he said. He said, I'm working on this phrase today. Gida mino. You hear Gida, you should.
Yeah.
Gida mino. Good. Duda is doing something.
Yeah. Giduda.
Gida mino duda dim.
Oh, yeah.
Treat each other good. Be good to be good to each other. That's what he was. That's not my phrase. It's the Gnu Gijik's.
Where you're gonna have them call? Just call in and just have them introduce yourself. Just
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's use your. I still haven't gotten my phone fixed yet either. I got to get a hold of
is it
IT.
ready to?
Oh yeah. Yep, it's ready.
So
Just-
stand by for this number here. You can call in, give us an introduction. You know, just basic stuff. Your name, where you're from, just a simple greeting. You know, like Minugijeb or Mini Mino Nawaqueg or
Gikashkatun. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Yep. So just something simple. Your name, if you know your Indian name. If not, just say Jaganashamowin, Indigenous cause, or something along those lines. So just let us know. Just give us your best. Yeah, your bestest. And
Anybody.
yeah, anybody too. I mean, you can be sitting in. Let's see who we got listening in here. I'll show Auntie Karen here where we're pulling people in here. somebody in out in San Francisco, somebody out in Oregon, Winnipeg. You're up there. You're probably close to the language up there. So whoever's listening in, you can call in too. We'll mail you whatever the prize is, or we'll let you select from something different. I know they got multiple prizes, and we're going to start giving
Yeah.
these away.
If it's somebody from far away, we can either give a game or,
Yep.
yeah, a game.
So call in right now. I know we got more that are showing that use our phone app. A lot of times they don't show up on here, but we'll get listeners from Hibbing, Duluth. You are all eligible, even if you're down in the Cayman Islands or you're over there in trying to think of a Russian city.
Moscow.
Well, Moscow, that was easy. But
That was easy.
I'm thinking of Petra Slavoyka or something like that, or I don't even know what I said. But yeah, so from somewhere over from somewhere around the world, give us a call. What's that number you got there? We're going to use your number. 218
750
750
7268.
7268 750 7268. Give us a call. Just give us a light introduction. However far you can get, just give us your name, where you're from, all that good stuff. Even if you just say Boston Indigenous Cause, or
Yeah.
you know, or Boston Indunjaba.
Boston
Yeah.
and Dunjaba.
Yeah. Hopefully somebody will call in.
Yeah, so anybody, even in the village here, yeah, you could be right down on St. Mary's Drive, or down on Pineview Road, or up there on what else we got here in the village? Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're all eligible.
RTC.
Yeah, at the RTC, you won't get penalized for tuning in to the Anishinaabe Mowin and learning your culture here. So give us a call. 218. Go ahead, Per.
218 750 7268.
I'm watching our Facebook Live. If you guys aren't, I don't know if we did an announcement, but we are on Facebook Live. We got 4 viewers on there right now. So you viewers, you've been tuning into us, so give us a call.
No matter if you won before, call us.
Hey, Tony Nichols is our producer here for our Facebook Live production. And Tony, if you can put the phone number up on the title on the bottom there, that might help people remember the number, because I know sometimes it's hard. And that number is 750. Per.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 750 7268. I think do you want me to read this?
Call before 12.
Yeah, call before 12. We've got about 18 minutes and 30 seconds left, so.
Perry's gonna do a prayer or teach a prayer.
Oh, this is the one we posted earlier about the lake and offering tobacco. Okay. Well, we're not racing this year, but this is a prayer I usually use every time I go racing. It's Na mani duk git bandan zakegan giminu ko sama giminu manoke giminu manikemen which money do giminu ko manomen. Look, spirit keepers of the lake, I am giving you tobacco. We are racing. Thank you for giving me race. Another one I think I was going to do, I was thinking in my head, I was like, Gegu shunashike, nukumiski kudu jababade, Gegu do it again. Gida mino do dadim. Don't raise heck. My grandmother said what goes around comes around. Don't do that. And be good to each other.
Yeah, be good too.
Be good to each other.
Joanne
Treat each other good.
Joanne and Megu.
Showain and Mikul.
Love each other.
Love each other.
There's another, maybe you can do that prayer for all the 4 directions.
right now?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Okay. I won't alter it.
When you first start out, you could either say nah, when you do this, that means listen. Because like I said, the mothers used to use that word nah long time ago when their kids make their kids behave. Or to make them listen. You'd say, they put their finger over their mouth and they'd say, nah. They'd whisper it, nah. Then that little kid would look up, he'd look up and watch the mother, then he or she would be quiet. Nah, manitug.
Okay. Nah, manitug. Nung gumsya nag-iskaan na dupogan. Go into motion, gego. Tago bezin daw shuk. Na wabanung kinagugada naska na way sama way communicating with the question. Kana waba mission gay. Tago mission gego. Magajaka na wabandang gego. Magajaka bawaja gego. Ishbin gego ga mission with a shway gajitchige. Me was jagajitchige war Anishinaabe. Which wabanung. Na jawanum kinagugada naska na way sama way communicating with the question. Tago kana waba mission gay. Tago mission gego. Magajaka na wabandang gego. Magajaka bawaja gego. Ishbin gego ga mission with a shway gajitchige. Me was jagajitchige war Anishinaabe. Igwat jawanum. Na negabianum. Kinagugada naska na way sama way communicating with the question. Tago kana waba mission gay. Tago mission gego. Magajaka na wabandang gego. Magajaka bawaja gego. Ishbin gego ga mission with a shway gajitchige. Me was jagajitchige war Anishinaabe. Igwat negabianum. Na giwadanum. Kinagugada naska na way sama way communicating with the question. Tago kana waba mission gay. Tago mission gego. Magajaka na wabandang gego. Magajaka bawaja gego. Ishbin gego mission mi doshawe gajitchige. Me was jagajitchige war Anishinaabe. Migwat na wam migwat ki. Migwat bikune zagigan. Migwat namani zagigan. Ego shiunachige, ego do it again. Nanukumis ki kudu shababade. Gita mino do dadim. Meo, migwach bizandawik. Migwach. Meo.
What he did
Ah,
in town,
kita
all
menolak
four
dadim.
directions.
Meo, migwach bizandawik. Migwach. Meo.
What he did in
Ah,
town,
kita
all
menolak
four
Sorry about
dadim.
this.
directions.
Meo, migwach
You
bizandawik.
can learn the
Migwach.
prayers
Meo.
too. Prayers like
Ah, kita menolak dadim.
And if you say them every morning, maybe go to the lake and sit there and put your sama out and just say a short prayer like Kaminin Sama Zagikan. I'm giving you tobacco. The lake, I'm giving you tobacco. And you don't have to say a lot. Just a few words like Manaduk. You can say water spirits. And now we go on to island. You can mention the island. Go ahead. Hello, Bushu. Minogiship. When engine?
Buzz Connor and Dungiba.
Oh, Buzz Connor.
Buzz Connor indigenous cause. What calling do them? I should be connected and Dungiba.
Yeah,
Right on.
Minochige, that's good.
Right on.
Yeah, you won $25 gift card to Patton's.
What?
Or else, yeah, if we have more prizes too. So
Keep
we'll-
calling.
We'll have this at noon We're surprised we're done at noon.
Yep.
Well,
So,
whenever- Ni question gi kiddo.
yep. Stop on in, Buzz.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Giga Wabaman.
You go up on it?
Mm-hmm.
See,
All right.
I told you that generation, my dad's, Gio, Miskobanes, Buzz,
Mhm.
Marty, all of them, they know how to speak. It just,
Yeah.
they just, they don't do it enough. They can understand and talk.
That envelope is on by my phone.
Yeah, on your,
Where all them coupons are, them 2 patents, and then L&M and
who donated those, Graham?
Mark.
Okay, was it Sandra too, or just
Yeah,
Mark?
Mark and Sandra.
Mm.
You can tell them that was a donation.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Mark
Mark
Drift
did.
donated those gift cards, and then he also donated 2 a Xbox controller and a PS4 controller. So young kids, if you're a parent of a child or a teen, and they want to win a new controller for Xbox or Xbox One or PS4, we will be giving those away soon. We just gotta do a Facebook post about it first.
You know
Mhm.
what I was thinking about doing I was thinking that would be good for the elementary side and Xbox stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Even have them get tickets
Oh, yeah.
in the culture where Bejan works.
Yeah.
How
Oh
many
my goodness. Yeah.
how many words they could know,
Oh,
like say
yeah.
within 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because I
And,
wanted to call in and then call in on this show and win for
Mhm.
myself. No, just
Hey.
kidding. No, no. But go ahead, Graham.
And just have them, whoever can learn them like introduction all the way through, or whoever can learn like the opposites. Namatapin, Nibawin, Monandam, Minwendam, Ginusi, Dakusi, Dibikad, Gishigat, Abenujiag, Makadewa, Wabishka, Wiskuban, Jiwan, Nigan, Squaya, Wiwizas, Ikwizas. Say if they can learn all of them without reading anywhere, they could win them what do you call them?
Controllers.
Controllers.
They're really nice too.
And just like have them go like maybe a month learning, and then do a test on them, and whoever wins will get them controllers. That way we could get them to work.
Yep. They're
Just-
brand new still. They're fresh in the box. Those controllers. They're.
That would be the way to go, I think, if you wanted to do something with the kids here in the
Mhm.
elementary, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with some, I don't know.
Come up with a written, not even a written test, just like a test that they speak. You can
Mhm.
speak it a certain, what you just said. If you want them to do the opposites.
Well, let's
Mhm.
do that, Per. Let's come up with a language incentive program,
Yeah.
something like that we could target the, I don't know, either the grades or the whole school itself, or we'll come up with something. We'll talk with
Yeah.
Bijan too.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll have some ideas on how we could do that,
Yeah.
and then make it either a monthly thing or,
Because one of them, how much did one cost? 100 and
Oh, each of them was what, 70 after tax, $70 a
yeah, it's
piece.
probably about $70 a piece.
70.
So I'm sure anybody could use a new controller.
Yeah, we could have first and second place,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Well, let's dream it up, man.
Yep. Let's. I'll consult with Bejan and see where the kids are at on their language level,
Mhm.
and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And then, because I know you said they do know a lot though. That one day I was listening on you present to them. They know animals, they know their numbers, they know how to introduce themselves. They know quite a bit. So let's further.
On the day we do that, you can come to Bijan's and show them what they're going to be playing for, what they're going to be,
Well, once the
Learning
kids see what
name.
the prize is, they'll
what they're
They'll
learning
definitely
and
wanna-
play. And if that works out good, and then we'll, the month, maybe we can have something else big, like kind of like, good for
Mhm.
the kids that they can.
Also, if there's any businesses out there that want to be part of this, creating this, maybe even providing some of the funds for the prizes and that, we would certainly entertain that. I've got an interview with the new position here that would be able to coordinate all that, so whatever we're doing as far as our business relations out there, if they got prizes that they want to donate, even individuals, like Mark, he's supported, the language program here so much, over the past year, especially when Chaz was doing his show, Mark would come in and donate cash prizes or
That
gift
was the,
certificates or anything like that. So there's a lot of people in the community that can really care. So I think that's, we'll create something like that, Auntie. So we'll get more activity going as far as the language goes.
Renee Bardo also donated to the Karen Drift Language Show a sea salt lamp. It's like an orange lamp that emits like a feel-good fragrance that'll kind of calm and soothe you. And then she also donated a 6-can mini fridge. It can hold up to 6 cans to keep your beverage cold. So those are brand new too. So miigwech Renee Bardo, miigwech Mark Drift for donating, and Sandra.
Yeah, and we'll organize something so we get those prizes out there into all of our listeners. Yeah, we want to incentivize you. We don't want to buy your attention or anything like that.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's
Just try to. I know people want to support this, not only just the station, but the show in particular, and of course the language and the culture. So we'll make those opportunities available. And looking forward to getting this development person, manager on board, so we can coordinate all that and get these funds put to use. So yeah, and we're coming up here in our last few minutes here. We'll be going towards Native Voice 1 and Native America Calling coming up, along with Antonia Gonzalez and her 5-minute news. Native news segment, national Native news. But until then, I'm going to turn the mic over to Auntie here and see if she's got anything else that she wanted to share.
Yeah, I just want to share that Buzz is really good at his language. Come on, Buzz. Learn more.
Yeah, you know who else I know I ran into, and we're probably going to try to interview him, Bill Whiteman.
Yeah, Bill was always good at the language.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that stuck close in my class. He even wanted to know some prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do short prayers. And if you want a prayer page, you can call Perry and he can give you some how to say prayers, or you can ask him, and then so you can learn how to do prayers.
Nope, somebody's having a tough time out there.
Yeah, Awea Moe, one of the heads to Benuchi Moe. Kid, little kid crying. Moe means cry. Ichi Moe, crying hard. Moe, yeah. Gonna put Gega Gishate Gujing. I think it's getting hot outside.
Yeah. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll sign off right here. I'll give an update on the weather and all of that, and we'll get everybody moving along in their day here. So we certainly do appreciate everybody listening in. Miigwech, Bisandawieg.
Yeah, miigwech. Chimiigwech.
Thank you, Buzz, for calling in. Yeah, that was awesome, man. And looking forward. Yeah, don't be shy. Everybody, call in. We'll help you get to that point. To where you're comfortable talking, and that's what it's all about. Is just encouraging each other and you know, everybody just kind of stepping up and everybody just kind of giving their attention and you know, the more we hear it, the more we'll understand. The more we'll be able to just kind of be in the moment and respond accordingly, you know, within our language.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that is very encouraging. I know Auntie. A lot of you can't see her but when you guys call in, she lights up, and she likes to hear, you know, that you know what we're doing here is making an impact, you know, on people in using their language, not just learning it, but using it. I think that's a very important part of all this.
Before I leave, I wanna see it as much as people talking the language, or I haven't heard anybody yet out there, you know, trying to talk, but
Yep.
I hope to see that before I get too old and can't hear or
Mhm.
get, I forget how you say deaf. Gibshe.
Gabe Shea.
Gibshe, that's
Okay.
deaf.
Okay. Well, that you heard it. So when you're out there in the community, you see Auntie Karen, use your language. You know, do your best. Mino Gijeb. Just say hi, bonjour, anin. You know, and then try to learn how to take it a little bit further. You know, one more phrase at a time. So.
If I see you out there, I'm gonna talk my language to you.
Oh, all right.
Miigwech.
All right. You all have a greater day.